All right, this video is a full breakdown on all things pull-ups. So I'm gonna go over a side-by-side on what a regular pull-up usually looks like, where most people really engage their neck and their shoulder and bicep to do all the work, neglecting really the big important muscles, pec, lat, things like that. Also, how we do the mechanical pull-up, things to look out for when you're assessing your own movement, and then the best variation we have currently, especially if you've never done a pull-up or you're not there yet, you're not strong enough, it shows you the option on how to do it and how we train, where we keep the muscles on, work time under tension, and staying within the range of motion where the correct muscles are on. The pull-up is, quote unquote, labeled as a functional movement. But remember, if you're doing any quote unquote functional movement the wrong way, like a bad push-up or a bad pull-up, you're probably doing more damage than good. And most people, you have to figure out what your why is. So why are you doing the pull-up? What are you getting out of it? So a lot of people do pull-ups to strengthen their grip, their back, for sports, whether it's jiu-jitsu or CrossFit or weightlifting. Just know that in the video you'll see, if you're pulling, your upper back's rounded, your chest is collapsed, you're not engaging the right muscles, you're actually building and accelerating an injury and or a plateau. So if you've done pull-ups before, it's very common that if you're using the wrong muscles, you'll probably hit a wall and not get better and get stuck there for a long time. And our question is always to figure out, like, why is that happening? So check it out. If you guys like the video, please share it to help someone else out. If anyone deals with shoulder, elbow, or neck pain when they're doing pulling movements like a pull-up, share it with them. Hit subscribe. I'm gonna keep building on this movement library of coaching things with mechanics first. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Here's the breakdown of mechanical pull-up versus just a regular pull-up. So if you take a look at the pull-up, let's start at the top of the pull-up. So do you notice anything different here? The main thing is a pull-up should be a lat exercise, right? And if it's a functional movement, the idea is that this movement pattern, this posture should help in other things as well. So the biggest difference right here is you can see the lats are way more engaged than this side. So what's happening on the side on the left, a lot of it's into my shoulders, my traps. You can see that I'm hunched forward. You could even see the creases on my neck, right? On this side, the shoulders are staying down and back, maintaining that good arch. There's no crease in my neck. I'm not shrugged up. My shoulders aren't rolled forward. So for us, when we train the pull-up, we're trying to strengthen our back, our lat, but also this posture on the right is going to help us in things like benching, Olympic lifting, more sport or movement applications that we're actually looking for. Having my upper back rounded like that, where my shoulders are forward and I'm hunched up in my neck, is not going to transfer into anything functional for us. So we'll slow it down step by step, see if we can spot anything else. So it's not what you do, it's how you do it. So a lot of people think doing pull-ups is good for the shoulder, the back. But what if you're using all the wrong muscles to drive the movement? You're creating more imbalances, creating more injuries. So right at the start of the pull-up, not focusing on mechanics, you can see how much strain and stress is in the upper back. And then you'll also see me start to shift. Look at the crease on my neck on the left side. Do you see how right when I start engaging my pull, and that's where my bad shoulder is, things like that, I start to pull and immediately it goes into my left neck. So all the weight and all the stress, the pull-up is being driven by my bicep, my shoulder, and my neck. You can see my lat is not doing anything, it's just coming along for the ride. So let's go with the pull-up on the right. So you'll see that everything is set down right at the start. I engage good posture. I set the shoulders with my lat and pec, and then I continue to drive the movement with the lat. Look at the muscle engagement from this side, back muscle wise, right here, versus this side. So if I'm doing a ton of pull-ups in this version, I'm really just reinforcing or strengthening my left neck more so, my traps, my shoulder, and my bicep, which is where most people feel the burn. That's where they feel that the development happens when they do a lot of pull-ups. And I'm also reinforcing this bad posture that I can't use. Whereas here, I'm using the back as a whole. Everything is on, but I'm setting my shoulder and driving the movement with the proper muscles. So you can see right there how much lat engagement I'm getting. My neck's not all bunched up compared to this one on the left, which looks kind of shifted. So if you look, because my left shoulder has to come higher, I'm kind of crooked at the halfway point right here. You can see that my body's kind of leaning like this. You can even see my spine now has a little bit of that angle, and versus this one where it's pretty neutral. It's pretty even. So just take a look at the difference. Again, if you're going to invest the time to do pull-ups, you want to get the most out of it. So the next video, I'm going to show you how to train it the best way, apply our concepts of more volume, time under tension, and also training within the right mobility range. So again, recap, just take a look at that. If you guys are doing videos like this, it's real important to just take a snapshot at the top to see what's on, and it's a good time for you to start to spot shot to see where the imbalances are. You know, is one teres bigger than the other? Is one lat bigger than the other? Are you shrugged up more? Those are important things to see, because if you're using one side and there's a lot more muscle development on one side, that's always going to end up leading to an injury or problem down the line. So in my old videos and photos, I've shown that this left lat was way underdeveloped, and now it's way better, so I'm happy to see that. So the last time, for a while, my left lat only probably came to about here. So things to track, things to look out for. Here's our current best way to train the pull-up. A pull-up is really difficult to do hanging with all the body weight, so it's a hard place to start. So what we've been doing is just get your feet on a box, a bench, whatever you got, just to be able to support yourself with your legs. So if you look, the benefit of this is that it helps you assess the way you currently move. So even though my foot is on the plate and on the bench, I'm going to pull as slowly as I can so I can start to build that awareness, that baseline. That's how we teach everything. How are you currently moving? How are you currently doing your pull-up? So right now I'm pulling slowly, and what I'm feeling is to initiate it, and you guys can see it too, I'm using my elbow to drive it first. So if you take a look, I feel that all the tension's going up to my neck and shoulders. That's where my neck's already bunched up. I can do this because I'm spotting myself with my legs. So I'm going super slow, doing the pull-up like I've done my whole life, and really feeling when I get to the top, squeeze at the top. So a lot of the weight's still in my legs, so it allows me to do a longer hold, give myself time to feel what's on and what's not. So if you're setting this up at full extension, or just say standing all the way up to your tippy toes, your chin should be able to go above the bar. So you need to find the right setting for that. That's why I have a plate on the bench. The bench wasn't enough. I'm still too short. So then hold at the top like what I'm doing here. Squeeze. Let your body tell you what you're using. I feel it all on my shoulder and even in my bicep and my neck. So that you have to do. Always see how you're moving originally. So then when you make some changes, you know if it's better or not. So look at that. I'm bending with my elbow again. I'm shrugged up already. And the whole time I'm leading with my trap. Does not feel good, but now at least I'm aware. Definitely a lot more tension when I'm doing the pull-up on my left side, but you can see how it creeps up like I talked about earlier. So I'm just being very aware, moving it nice and slow and pausing at the top to get a good squeeze. You can see there's like little to no lat going on right now. So then the best way to train it now that you've tested the way you currently move, some people will do that test and feel it all in their shoulder, their elbow, their neck, whatever it might be. So now I can spot myself in my legs. The first pull, you see that compared to this way, initiating the pull, let's say, on this left side, I just pull at the elbows and shoulders. That's what normally happens when I assess anyone on a pull-up. They just start pulling. So on this side, to tell the difference, I'm trying to open up my posture, get my lat and riblets to turn on first. So you see my shoulder sets. I'm using my lat and my pec and my posture to pull my shoulder into place. My elbows aren't even bending yet. That's the real secret. So to activate the lat, you have to set the posture. So I'm using my lat to pull myself into the proper position and posture. You can already see my lat turn on. So you can use the legs, just start with that. Pull your chest up, sink your shoulders down till it stops. That means now your lat's holding you in good posture. And then from here, you're gonna keep that posture set. You're gonna continue to pull. So I do a couple of these reps to activate the lat. And then once I have that going, then I'm going to start to pull from the lat. So now, if you look, I drive, set my lats, set the shoulders, set the posture. Shoulders already down. I'm not shrugged up. Look at my neck compared to the other side. So then now when I pull, I keep that chest opened up, that posture, my lat engaged. And look at all that flex I'm getting through the lat. Nothing shrugged up in my shoulder like this one right here. So slow it down, find the tension, find that range of motion to make sure you're able to get that good squeeze. And at the top, same idea. You want to make sure that this muscle not only stayed on, but got tighter, right? And your shoulders aren't rolled forward, you're not shrugged up, all that fun stuff. So figure out your range of motion. That's super important. Some people can only keep their lat on right around there. And then when they start moving, they start going back to this habit. If that's the case, then for now, just use the legs and only stop. Let's say that's it before you start shrugging into the neck. This is where you live for now. Give your muscles, your lats, time under tension, a lot of reps, a lot of time to hold it here, to stay on, to develop, to get stronger. And then you can increase that range of motion slowly. So from here, I can still keep my lat on, and then I keep going up. So make sure you are aware, if you feel that you're going back to this guy at any point, that means your lat shut off. So reset. Don't keep working and don't feel like you have to go chin to the bar, chin over the bar right away. So I like to squeeze it at the top, make sure I can re-engage lat. I'm learning with the time under tension to teach my lat to engage so I can fire them at will. So then once I get everything dialed in these slow flexes, then I'm going to try to get some volume in. Can I maintain that posture, the mechanics, when I rep it out? So I think that's right around here. I'm using a lot of legs. There you go. So I'm going to keep going. Use a lot of legs. Keep squeezing and engaging the lat, giving it some reps, giving it volume. But you'll see I don't go all the way up. I just squeeze to the max flex that the lats can take, and then I just keep going. I want to feel the cramp in my lat. And that's it.